Let's hear from John Brakey. Mr. Brakey, please come forward. Give us your name and address for the record.
Thank you, sir. My name is John Brakey. My address is 5947 South Placita, El Diablo, Tucson, Arizona, 85706. And once again, that's so long. Could you please start my time over again? I guess not. Anyway, I want to kind of follow on. I don't want to repeat anything anybody else said, but I want you to know that the first 9 bags, first off, I never got the chance to check the first 9 bags, because the time I got to the 7th bag, there were seven problems. The first 3 were not open, were not sealed properly. The next 4, and I remember leaning over Brad on one of them, and I said, he was opening it, and I said, gee, Brad, could you show me the white yellow sheet in the bag, and let's see if the number verifies. So Brad stumbles through the bag, and then he picks up a white piece of paper, and there's 2 scribblings on it. I couldn't even read the names. And you know, Brad, you got about 3,000 poll workers, I imagine. And he turns around and he says to me, gee, John, look at this. And I recognize those 2 scribbles. Those are the poll workers. I never got a chance to go to bag 8 and bag 9 before I got arrested. I kept my civility. I was very watchful of the seals and the chain of custody because of what happened 2 years ago in another audit. And that man, Noel Day, testified yesterday that he walked into the warehouse and they had the bags open and that they looked like deers with headlights on them, and then looked at him and says, what are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here. So I was very cautious. Now, let's talk about these bag seals having a problem. It's interesting that the first 9 bags had 7 failures. But the second batch that we drew that morning only had 2 failures. And you know, the possibility of those failures, you know, on the second batch are poll worker error. Because, and you know, and it bothers me when we always constantly blame the poll workers, you know, especially after the testimony by Larry Bayhill yesterday that we've recorded and him going through. You know, we had a press conference that turned into a really exciting sit down and understanding of what a good election department runs and how it's supposed to work. You know, I've been at this now for 4 years. And you know, Brad has a habit of not being able to, he makes things up as he goes, tries to bull people. And you know, I've chased him on these bulls, things he said, I don't want to use bad language. And I've gone down an alleyway and I found out that he just makes up things. There was nothing to it. And the man lacks character. He lacks capacity to tell the truth, which destroys his credibility. And I'm wondering, how can we have a person who fails these C's? His courage, I don't think is too good. Because, you know, a courageous man would admit a mistake. Okay? Does he love his country? I don't know, because a man who works and runs an election department has a responsibility to the people. And Brad, please resign for us. We don't need to have a person with your lack of seats in that office. And this, him being there, reflects upon all of you. Because what kind of characters have the capacity to have a man like that working here says a lot about your credibility, because this has been going on a long time. Getting to my arrest, I found things wrong. I did keep my character, my capacity, my credibility. I did show courage by saying, I'm sorry, Brad, I can't leave here until Mickey Donahoe shows up at 1 o'clock, and I'll be glad to leave then. No, you got to go now. I turned around to Deputy County Attorney Jerkowitz, and I said to him, sir, could you please tell me where I cannot talk to my auditors? He shrugged his shoulders and smiled. I've done 2 other audits before this, okay? And you know, after talking to Larry Bayhill And you know how a good elections director, when you have an observer who's responsible to make sure everything is transparent, that you would bend over backwards, but you don't hide things, because the more you hide, the more I want to follow along. Because, you know, I do love my country. I do pride in my citizenship. I do take pride in my civility. I do take tremendous pride of being a character who has the capacity to stand up here for 40 years now, back and forth with you all, to be able to express that, Houston, we got a problem. And you know, it's just not a Pima County problem here anymore. The whole country is watching this and watching you and the decision that you make today. I respectfully request that the canvass is postponed. We don't want lawyers involved. This is a very short window between this canvass, and we need to move fast. Now we require, per SB 1557, that we double up. We can go fast. I would ask you to postpone the canvass to no later than Wednesday, and that we go ahead, Sunday start, and go ahead and do this thing, and let's assure our citizens and voters in this town, Pima County, that it's accurate. And I too think that a lot of it is probably incompetency, okay? I'm not going to stand up here and say anything was fraudulent, but we have a responsibility to SB 1557 right that Ted Downing spent all that time doing. And I would ask this, please include any contested races of the Board of Supervisors to be part of it. Because there's no problem. It should be transparent. And then go ahead and say, on the next round, we will do the same thing, because that's fair. You guys are not just a Board of Supervisors, you're the Board of Elections. Nobody should have one responsibility. Just like the poll workers, think of it that way. You got
Mr.
Republicans
Brakey, I'm
and you
gonna ask
got
you to finish
Democrats.
up, okay?
I will. You don't assign your responsibility to one guy like Huckleberry, who's known about the back door of our voting system since 1996. I can go into the Arizona Daily Star and show you that when there was a problem in 96. We got testimony that Brian Crane was authorized to merge that data and learn about how Microsoft Access worked. I thank you. Please make a good decision on this. Because, like I said before in the back of this room, ladies and gentlemen, this is not about Pima County. It's about our country. Show that character. Show that capacity. Show that credibility. Have the courage to do the right thing. Take pride in your country, okay? And own our citizenship and take care of it. And I thank you very much. I'm sorry for the overtime.